Well, welcome to Mother Pickers. This week we're recording What Sold Wednesday on the road because we're currently driving to Idaho Falls. We're going to Idaho Falls to hit up a bunch of thrift stores. So yeah, we're gonna try this on the run.
Yes, we are. Okay. Well, I sold my second CC Filson wool vest. I sold one, was it last week? Or
I think it was the week before because when you told me, I was like, oh, about time.
yeah. And it was a men's 40, black, and it went for $140.
I guess it could have been last week. I was really thinking there was a week in between.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Time flies when you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, your set of 3 Silver Grill Cafe Fort Collins collectible diner coffee mugs.
Oh!
I'll let you say it.
Hey, no, you say it because I didn't even know it sold. That sold while we were driving.
Oh, that sold. That isn't even on this list.
That's funny.
That's the one thing it was talking about.
That's hilarious.
Diner coffee mugs. Yeah, $12.99. Where'd we get those?
I don't know. They're from what's the name of the diner again?
Fort Collins, Colorado. Silver Grill.
Silver Grill in Fort Collins, Colorado. I have no idea where those came from, but
they're cute.
How much did they sold for $12.99?
Mm-hmm.
Those must have been. I went through, and I put a good portion of my shop on a pretty large discounted sale, and I hand selected everything that went into it, and either I am forgetful and don't know what I was doing, or some items that I didn't select were added in there. I'm not saying that I didn't select those, but were they listed for $19.99 originally?
Yeah.
So that sounds right, and that's fine. I'm excited. That's good.
Next, I have a Wrangler Western flannel shirt. I'm trying not to get Wranglers because even the flannel, it went for $12.
Oh, yeah.
And I probably paid $3 for it, so that's just not a very good, it's not good. And then you had a set of 3 Vintage Coors Brewing Company mini beer mugs.
The mini beer mugs. They were like this big, a set of 3 of those, and they sold for how much?
They sold for $11. You had them listed originally for $16.99.
Yeah, a huge portion of the most recent ones are going to be ones that were because of that sale.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited because it's stuff that's moving that really wasn't getting a lot of traffic, but the profit's not going to be, not going to be super. The profit on those wasn't super exciting to begin with.
Right.
But they're adorable little guys. That's fun. I don't know how much they were probably new.
My next item is a vintage Francoma pottery bean pot. It was brown with an orange lid.
Bean pot.
Kind of a casserole pot. I'm not sure what I called it. I called it a brown pot baker dish with flame orange lid, and it's very mid-century modern. It's so cute. It's very mod. And it went for $20. Which town is this?
Irwin.
Irwin. Look at Irwin. It's a beautiful day to travel.
It's a gorgeous day. Granddad said that it's supposed to get up to the 40s in Idaho Falls, which is unheard of for us in December. So it's not far enough away to have such a different climate.
It's funny how that works. And then you have a set of 4 Mountain Woods wooden salad bowls. Warm brown.
I think you gave me those. I think you gave me the last 3 items. Those were, I think, maybe even all part of the last kind of mystery box.
Oh, well, that would be fast if that's
you made
the case.
Me. The one before.
Oh, okay.
Not the most recent one. So those probably came from our local thrift store. I don't know how much they were, but that's again not a. Oh, I'm in the turn lane. Not a great. How much?
$11.69.
$11.69. Yeah, probably not great for those, but it's nice to see things moving along. That actually might have even been, speaking of that might have been a couple mystery boxes ago.
Yeah. I sold a pair of diesel jeans, Live, women's 33, low rise stretch. And I'm not sure how much they charge for jeans, either 3 or 4 at the local place, maybe. And they were $26.
I think it just depends on who. Does it depend on who? I guess the jeans are kind of a set thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of their set things.
Never mind.
Yeah. And then your Starbucks mug.
We got that at a garage sale this summer for 50 cents.
Nice.
So it sold for $13, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. It's another one that was on the sale, but $13 for
35% off.
Yeah,
you're
that's why I tried to be very selective about what I picked, is I wanted it to be things that I really wanted to move. But there's things on there, and I went through and I tried to take things off, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. There's things on there that I don't want on the sale. But
when does it get over?
I think at the end of the month.
Oh.
I guess if it sells, it sells.
Yeah.
There's like, it was one of my, I think that Scarab Beetle, like, I have it listed ridiculously high because I love it.
Oh yeah,
it has to. I think it might have ended up on the sale.
Oh no.
And maybe one of my antique pictures.
What you could do is
just end the sale
or just end that item and then relist it.
Oh, I could do that. I think it might be easier to just end the whole sale, and then because I keep on seeing things on there that I'm like, no, I'm not sure I wanted that to be 35% off. But I'm pretty satisfied with most of those.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff selling. That's always
rewarding.
And then I have a Mammoth Alpine base layer, quarter zip polo type shirt.
Is it
red?
Marmot?
It's Mammoth.
Mammoth. That's weird.
Yeah. Different than Marmot. I know. And it was $35.
It's just sure she was making something.
I know. And it was probably $3 when I purchased it. You got your Kid Robot Family Guy mini.
He's a little Peter Griffin figure. He has his glasses come off, and he's holding a beer mug that you can take out. He sold for $10 or just $9.09.
$9.09. Yeah.
We got him at another garage sale this summer, and he was probably actually like $2 at least. But still, not too bad. Nice to see him go. And actually the person that bought him is very, very nice. They thanked me. They had a question about it before they bought it. And then when I ended up mailing it off, they sent me another message thanking me for my quick response and
nice
fast shipping, and they were just super sweet. And
we like them.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that whole transaction.
And this is our possibly, that Filson was probably my good one for the week. But these are pretty good. It's a lot of 1965 Ford Thunderbird 15-inch OEM standard non-spinning hubcaps.
I would like the thing that those attach
Yes,
to.
me too. And they were $90.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty house.
Then you have a vintage Conger Lantern Company portable railroad lantern.
And that's another one I believe that you gave me around the same time frame. There was a lot of those listed. I sold for $13 though. That's pretty good. I was thinking that I didn't know if it worked. I didn't really have a way of testing it because have you seen the batteries that go in those things? So that whole cylinder, the inside of it is a
battery.
One giant battery.
Oh.
And I didn't know where to get my hands on a battery this big. And then it had one of its bulbs. And so essentially I was like, it's not tested. I don't know. It only has one bulb. I don't know if the bulb is burnt out. But they're really cool. The vintage, it's like just a vintage railroad lantern.
Yeah, it's cute.
I loved it. That's the kind of thing that you didn't give me that. We got that at the local thrift store. I remember exactly where it was sitting. I remember now. So it was probably That's probably
$1,
yeah,
$2
$1 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. I'm glad it's not something that you got
Or it
somewhere.
could have been free.
For
They kind
more.
of they're creeping up. And then I sold a book, Micro Patterns, Tying and Fishing the Small Fly. Did I already mention this once? It seems vaguely familiar.
What's it called again?
It's called Micro Patterns, Tying and Fishing the Small Fly.
I don't think so.
I bet I got it at the same time.
I was going to say, I think it,
yeah.
Because I was going to just say that you seem to be selling a lot of fly fishing things, but I think it is a different title.
Yeah, and
we'll
this
have to
was
double check.
It was out of the free bin, and it went for $27.
That's good.
Yeah. We like those kind.
Fly fishing books.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, because you would have sold way too many things since then for it to be right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another one. Good job.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Well, we have a Hasbro Stranger Things Dungeons and Dragons game.
Dungeons and Dragons game. It was Stranger Things themed. It had 2 of the Demigorgons inside. It was an open box, and the box had some wear to it, but everything was in there, and it doesn't look like the game actually had ever been played. We got that at a garage sale, right? It was kind of almost this fall.
I don't remember where it came from.
It was the same one where we got the tablet and the.
Oh yeah. It was a local garage sale.
Yeah, it was one right in Pinedale, and these people had the coolest stuff. I mean, they were definitely comic book nerds, and I say that in the best way possible. We got like Funko Pops, we got that game, it was a lot of fun. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I even got some, I can't remember the word I'm looking for. When people dress up for conventions. Cosplay. We got a bunch of cosplay magazines that I have listed.
Oh, yeah.
And then, there was a set of almost all of the characters from Suicide Squad as Funko Pops, and that ended up going to my daughter.
Yeah. It was $25.99, and you'd had it on sale also.
Yeah, it was $25.99, which was really good because there was actually a bunch of those listed too, and there was a bunch that were listed that were sealed. So I was just happy to see it sell in the first place.
Yeah.
And it probably was, they weren't charging a lot for their stuff, but it was probably anywhere from $3 to $5.
I have a Coldwater Creek women's vest, Imperial Rich Red. What else do we know about this vest? Floral jacquard, size large. And it was probably $3, and I sold it for $19.
Yeah.
All right, next we have a set of 4 vintage Blue Heaven dessert dish berry bowls, and that's a very mid-century pattern.
Oh, they were so cute.
Yeah, they're real popular with the mid-mod crowd.
Yeah, and those ones, they sent me a real low ball offer.
Oh.
And I was real annoyed.
Oh yeah.
And then I hit the accept button anyway, and I'm still not sure.
Yeah.
Because it didn't sell for, that says it sold for $16.24.
Oh, it didn't sell for that?
I don't think so.
You were only asking 24 or 25 to begin with, which is probably was a super good deal for those.
Yeah.
Because they're real popular.
They ended up selling for really low, and I think it was less than 16, and I don't know what I was thinking, because I was annoyed, and then I hit the accept.
They're out of there,
and now they're gone.
And a while back we got this vintage refrigerator dish with the lid. It's clear glass, ribbed, and it only went for $14. And I'm not sure. Do you remember how much I paid for it?
No. Can I see a picture?
I got 2 of them.
Yeah, you got 2 of them.
Seems like they weren't really.
They weren't a lot.
It doesn't seem like.
We talked about it in a video.
Yeah.
They weren't bad. I want to say $2 a piece.
Yeah, right? I know it wasn't 5, thankfully, because that wouldn't have been a very good profit. Swan Valley. We are in Swan Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And
I I love Swan Valley. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Especially in the summer.
Yeah.
And this was a pretty good item. Filled and Stream, great outdoors, men's large down coat. It was kind of a longer length one, and it was $50. Probably paid $5 or $6 for it.
I like it.
Yeah. Down. Did I say down? I think
down.
Yeah. Next you have a vintage Universal #2 food meat chopper wooden handle.
We got that from the local store. It was in the box. It had most of its accessories. I don't know if it had all of them. I really hope the person read. I made sure, took really clear photos and put in the description that I think everything's there. I don't know, but was like reiterated, like what's there is there.
What you get's what you get.
What you get, what you get.
What you see is what you get.
And it,
1949.
1949. It was heavy, but I still charged enough for the shipping. I was proud of myself. And yeah, it sat there for, that's actually one of my older items, which none of them are really old because my shop hasn't been around that long. Just sat there and sat there and sat
It's good to see things with fresh eyes because there's things I wouldn't get, and she gets them and she sells them and she does real well with. And
she didn't tell me to put it back. She told me that I believe the conversation was those can be good or those can be bad.
Oh,
I don't think she told me one way or the other. What you got now? What you got?
I got a vintage gold tone butterfly pin brooch, and it was probably $1, and it only sold for $12. But it was pretty. I like the jewelry, but it's not really a big seller for me. No. The costume jewelry, I should say.
It can be.
Yeah. And your next item was a Vera Bradley diaper changing pad and insulated bottle holder.
And those I did get from you.
Yeah.
Vera Bradley is one of those where.
Yeah, it's another one. It depends on the pattern.
It's a crapshoot. I thought that was so cool, though. Once I figured out what it was, because she gave it, it's a mystery box. She doesn't really tell me anything about it. She just gives it to me. And so I thought when I first got it that it was like a suitcase makeup bag. And then once I realized what that was, and that the other thing that with it was, I don't know if it's necessarily for like baby bottles, but it's definitely an insulated. Yeah. It's got to be because it matches that. And it's a little shorter than a usual. But yeah, I don't, you know where it came from?
1624. It came from the local thrift store.
So it probably wasn't too much, but yeah, 1624 for that. It was originally listed for, I don't know, she scrolled away.
Oh, sorry. $24.99.
Yeah, so quite a bit of a discount, but it was nice to have it move on through.
Yeah. And then I sold a puzzle, Winter Friends Christmas Snowman Springbok 1,000 piece puzzle, and I don't get the puzzles unless they're sealed. So it was a sealed puzzle.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah,
I wouldn't dare unless I really, 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 really feel like putting a puzzle together.
Yeah,
and even then, I would just be convinced that I lost a piece when I was putting it in the box. So I think sealed is the way to go.
Yeah,
it
was cute. I saw one seller that their mother's in a nursing home, and he takes the puzzles to her and has her put them together.
That's
so
perfect.
Isn't that nice?
Aww.
Great for her, great for him.
Yeah, especially if he stays and works on them with her.
Yeah, that would be good. And it was that puzzle was $15. Next you have Disney Adorables minifigures.
Yeah, little surprise bag, blind bag figures. There was, I don't remember how many.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4,
a lot
5,
of 8.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 of them.
And I was happy to see that. It's something that they're still selling them. I don't know if there was anything super special about these figures. They're cute as can be, but I was happy to see them sell. I think I have another lot of the Adorables for sale, but They were one of those things that was in a little mixed bag of toys.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite.
Yeah.
So, and then the 1039, that more than paid for whatever bag they were in, I guarantee.
And they were on sale too.
Yeah. I think everything was either on sale or the next thing is what are they called? Silverware chest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that you used forever, not for silverware.
Jewelry. Yeah, and it had a drawer in it too, which is a little nicer.
Those were nice. It was nice. It was a little scuffed up. It was wood, so it's nothing that couldn't have been, probably fixed, except for the edge of it where you were chewing on it.
Yeah, it did have one little gouge in the back.
Yeah, but it was really cool, and it's funny. She gave it to me. She said you can probably get 30 for it. I ended up listing it for, what was it listed for? $39.99.
$39. Looks like you got that for it.
No, someone sent me an offer for I think it was 32 something, and I laughed and said, she said I'd get 30 for it, so
there it is.
There it is. But that was more than 30 technically.
Yeah. And then I have probably not as a longer tail item as some things, but quite a while, is a set of John Denver. Oh, take me home. Yeah, take me home. John Deere 2005 Collector Series mugs, coffee mugs.
I think I'd rather have a John Denver mug.
Yeah, and they were $24, and I probably paid, $5 for them. So not bad, but not super great either.
And there's nothing wrong with John Deere. I just like John Denver.
Yeah.
I appreciate him now more than I ever used to.
I love me some John Denver. They played him so much when I was, in the 70s that I got real sick of him.
And then when she started to like him, she played him so much that I didn't like him. And now
he's
I like
far out.
He's so groovy.
He got contacts and used to keep pushing on his nose. It was so cute. He was a habit. He didn't have trouble outgrowing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was on an awards show or something, and he was the host, and he just could not stop doing that. I don't even know if he noticed.
Cute.
My next item is a Rocky Mossy Oak breakup camo shirt, men's large, and it was $22. Probably paid $3 for it. And then I have another one. It's a Mossy Oak apparel, shadow grass pattern, button up, chamois type shirt, and it was $28. So
shimmy.
It was a better one. And here is I Dig Monsters surprise minifigure, little popsicle toys, icicle manji.
Yeah,
$6.99.
a little kind of a surprise figure. It's the same brand as it's Moose Enterprises, which is the same brand as, which one is that? Shopkins. Anywho, yeah, decided it was Shopkins that I was talking about because I just listed a huge lot of Shopkins and then discovered that figure was the same Moose Enterprises, and was kind of thinking that I should have just listed it as part of that lot. And then I was very pleasantly surprised to see that it's sold.
Nice. And this was a fun thing. I'm pretty sure I got this out of the free box somewhere at a garage sale. It's a vintage candle. It held taper candles, and it's very Danish modern. There were like 6 of them in the package, sealed package, and they're just little flat. Huh?
Out of a free?
Yeah, out of the free. Remember that thrift store where we got all those stuffed animals and stuff this summer? All the stuffed animals.
The garage sale.
Yeah,
that's the free bin I was picturing.
Yeah, I think that, or I know I got it free somewhere, but anyway, they went for $21, and I did send they were promoted, or not promoted. I did send an offer for them because it's $21.24, which is a weird price unless you send an offer.
Yeah, that's usually how I know I've sent an offer on something.
And here next is a rare round vintage potato masher with butterscotch yellow bakelite handle. That was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Cuter than
$17.99.
And for just a little masher, which is, I just needed a masher the other day. That's so funny.
And it's neat. It has a spiral head instead of.
It's really pretty. Obviously, you'll see a picture of it, but it's a fun one. It's very, very.
And everybody loves bakelite.
Yeah, and it's pretty.
And this is kind of an interesting shirt. It was a vintage Ben Davis men's shirt, 2XL. It had a half zip on the front, and it was striped, but the stripes went up and down, and it looked like an old gas station shirt, but I think it was probably a repro of but still older.
Gas station attendant?
Yeah. You don't know what that is, do you? Back when they used to come out and pump your gas for you.
They still do that in Oregon?
Yeah. Anyway, it was $59, so hoorah for that shirt. And this is a plate that sold once. It had a little black mark on the edge of it, and so she sent it back. And
I remember. I was just thinking about that the other day.
Yeah,
as I was trying to wipe something off of a plate.
And so Dad fixed it up, and we relisted it again. And it's a vintage cornware cornflower round dinner plate, and it must be more of an unusual pattern because it went for $29.
Did you get the spot off of it?
Yeah, Dad cleaned it up.
So it was possible.
It
lady
was
on the internet.
Yeah, it was, but she didn't want a flawed plate, and that's all.
For the price that she paid.
Right.
Like I said, I was sitting there quoting her as I was scrubbing a plate down.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair and not unreasonable at all.
It is. We were happy we paid shipping both ways and took it back without a fuss, and for a person's mental health, it really is. It's just easier
to just.
And it was flawed. So.
Well, and I had that. I recently sold something. Person said it wasn't what I said it was, which they were right, but and they wanted a full return and including shipping they wanted a full refund including shipping, and it's like, well, the only thing that makes me not want to give it to you is the fact that you're telling me that I have to.
They get so rude.
It's very, very, very aggressive about it. And it's like, listen, I made a mistake. I'm going to refund you. You
don't have to be a bully.
You don't have to be belligerent about it.
Well, the one that's really frustrating is you can almost always guess it's a scam. They want to keep the item and they want the refund too.
Which is what this person wanted. But I don't accept returns. That's why I try
But we all do.
But of course, well, I don't accept returns. If it's in order for them to get their money back, like either it had to get damaged in shipping or, which I misidentified the item. So I refunded it. I didn't want to deal with taking it back. So. Yeah. And I got a bad review not too long ago from somebody who got an item, it didn't work, and then they, were really mad because I don't accept returns. Not accepting returns is not the same as not accepting refunds. I will 100% refund an item if it's damaged or not as described. And they didn't understand that. So, and even after getting that really, really, really mean review, I still refunded them because that was my fault.
Right. Yeah.
But it was very tempting not to.
After they do that.
I already had my bad review.
Yeah.
But that was it. Again, it was my mistake.
And that's tough when you don't have that many.
It dropped me down because I have, I don't know how many reviews I have. I've received at least like 25 5-star reviews since then, and it's brought my percentage back up like 0.5%.
Yeah. It's much harder to bring it up than to take it down.
It dropped it
when
that.
When you don't have that many reviews.
It went from 100, I think, down to, it was either like a 96.8 or a 97. So it really hurt. It's actually went
Yeah.
up quite a bit because I think it's at a 98 point
The
something
person
now.
wants to have as good as possible.
It really hurt my feelings.
They know. That's why they do that. That's why they hold it over your head.
Well, and this person actually used a bunch of a little bit of vulgar language in there. So the unfortunate thing is the review was removed because of their language they used, but it also removed my response.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't even, they gave me a bad review because I don't accept returns.
Yeah.
And my response was explaining that, I don't accept returns, but I do refund if there's an error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have a set of 2 Oberrammergau hand-carved wooden plates. Girl and a boy. I don't know how you say that.
I don't
Bavarian.
think that's how.
Oberrammergau.
Stop!
No, I'm sure it's it.
Yeah. How much did that sell for?
$34.99.
$34.99. And we got those, I think they might have been $4 a piece. So, I don't know.
Worth it. Look at that.
You think so?
Sure. All right. My next item is a black velvet formal tuxedo vest. And it went for $35. And it probably was $2 when I got it. So it's probably somebody's prom vest.
Oh.
Or wedding.
Or when?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a good way to get you a prom or wedding vest for sure.
That cup is too big. Yeah.
Shannon's next item was a vintage 20s La Tosca Pearls French presentation box. Amber colored stones. It was beautiful.
And it was one of those things that I had listed really high because I didn't want to get rid of it. And then ended up taking a pretty low offer.
Oh, how much did you?
It was listed for $99.99. And they're so cool. And I love anything from the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up selling for, I want to say $65.
Ah.
So it was still pretty good. I think in the moment, I was just thinking it's not doing me any good sitting there, so I might as well sell it. But I don't know. Am I still happy about that? I don't know.
And this is fun. This is a vintage lot of 1980s Christmas decor. The honeycomb type, they're like back in school they used to hang them on the bulletin board, and they make some dimensional. It folds out. Anyway, there were different.
Let me see a picture.
There's okay. Let me see if I can find you one.
No, it's okay. Never mind.
Well,
I can wait.
Sure. Well, part of them
I'm sure I know what you're talking about is my problem.
Yeah.
I can't
picture it.
Yeah.
Well, here's one of them not folded out.
Okay. Yeah.
The Christmas. Those are bells and there were, I don't know, tablecloth, and I think those were big stickers.
That's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of, yeah.
I like little lots of stuff.
But
like
the honeycomb, the older honeycomb things are can be real collectible. These were from the 80s.
And they're so nostalgic.
Yeah. And they probably don't survive real well.
Ah!
Bird!
It was almost a bunch of birds.
Yeah. And did I say those were 25?
I don't know if you said or not.
Yeah. Next, you have a set of 2 vintage beige speckled pottery stoneware bowls signed.
Got these at the same place as the hand-carved wooden people. When I got them, I thought I knew what they were. Then I realized I didn't.
Oh.
So I ended up just kind of coming up with my own price on them because I didn't know what they were. I knew they looked like something else, but the markings on the bottom were wrong. It was, I don't know. I still don't know what they are. I probably something worth 4 times as much as what I.
Yeah, you got them $19.99.
$19.99, yeah. And they were probably, I don't know, $2 a piece.
Nice. And a Cabela's women's Sherpa fleece pullover jacket top, size large. And I must have took an offer on it or sent an offer because it's $14. And it was probably 2 new, so not bad.
Yeah. Profit's profit.
Yeah. All right, next is a vintage Jeffrey store out of Rock Springs, Green River, Wyoming, ashtray, advertising, retro, very mid-century modern.
Yeah.
$24.99.
And it sold to someone from Rock Springs.
Nice.
So it's going home.
Yeah. And these are some vintage leather moccasins. They were lace up with the hard rubber sole. And they were $30. And I don't know how much they were. I hope somebody's enjoying those. They were too thin. You know how old shoes seem to be real thin?
Oh, yeah.
But they were thin. I couldn't have got my fat foot in them.
Narrow.
Hand-painted ceramic made in Italy, 1990, Rico latte cup and saucer teacup.
These were
$15.99.
I had one that I sold sold Wednesday, and for whatever reason I forgot it existed. So I've now sold 2 of these, in one each week in the past weeks, and it's just Italian hand-painted cup and saucers. I think I had 12 of them, but I have them being sold individually in the listing.
Slowly but surely.
I was hoping that people would buy, 2, 4 at a time, but so far I've only sold them as like one individual cup.
Ooh. Yeah. And my last item is, first, we're going the wrong direction. My first item was a set of vintage coffee cups, teacups. Century Service, Alliance, Ohio, Autumn Gold. And they didn't have the saucers. It was just 3 teacups. Yeah, I don't know where. Anyway, they were $20.
They don't need no stinking saucers.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much. I might have had some $9 clothing and book items in there. And there's a tartan wool blend scarf that was $10.
Ooh.
So pretty for Christmas.
I
should have kept it and
especially
wore
at
it.
Christmas time. I'm a
big
fan of plaids and tartans and
vintage, antique, Smith Taylor, Verona china casserole serving dish, blue and white. I think we did that one.
No, we didn't do that one. We just talked about that one in a haul.
Oh, okay.
And as a matter of fact, it didn't even make it all the way to my storage before it sold.
Nice.
So that was very exciting.
$24.99.
I actually think I sold it for $19.99.
Ah.
I should just go with it, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, someone sent me an offer on it. Really, probably could have let it sit for a little longer before I started accepting offers, but I like keeping stuff moving. So
there you go. And now, how about this Polly Pocket lot?
The Polly Pocket lot is new. It's the early 2000s lot of Polly Pockets. A whole bunch of dolls and a couple of her little accessories and stuff, and it sold for this says
$50.
It sold for $50. And you know what? I don't think I did take an offer on that. So so yeah, I think that did sell for $50.
Very good.
Yeah. My last item it was a vintage Anchor Hawking green milk glass cup mug. It was by itself. I think we just got that at our local store, maybe $1. Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I picked up that, tried to pick up another one that she had just dropped at the thrift store in the same trip.
Yeah, it had dishwasher damage.
Yeah, it was too damaged. This one was not perfect, but it was in much better shape.
Yeah.
And
I'm real fond of those.
How much was that?
It went for $10.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what we got for this week, and let's see if I can knock it over one more time before we're done.
I bet you could.
So yeah, we're gonna go hit up some thrift stores. We might have to record another intro for that. I don't know, but till we see you next time. Thank you.
Bye bye. So don't put that in there, but that's
all of. It's like, wow, okay,
pardon
skill.
me. there.
Was it even recording to begin with?
Yeah, for a minute there. Tosca Pearls French presentation box. Gentle, buddy, gentle.
It's still recording. Anyway.
Oh, that gentle, very gentle.
I was talking to you.
I had a mother moment just because that man rips through the. Where's he going? Oh,
He's leaving. He's bothering me. I need you to calm your poops.
okay. Calm my what?
Your poops.